So it's blood draw day here at Marula Medical, and we're doing a little bit differently to help people get more relaxed and calm. We have some aromatherapy, which is going to be talked about in a minute, and of course we have the amazing Connie Cross on the piano. But I'm going to turn it over to Sarah. She's going to help us talk about it a little bit.
We're so excited. So we're going to find out what happens here at Marula Medical with Blood Draw Day.
On Blood Draw Day, we recognize, because I can relate, when you're having your blood drawn, you might have that little bit of anxiety, that little bit of fear of what might happen. Is it going to hurt? Is it, how long will it take? And so what we try to do is just come in, bring a little bit of music relaxation. To just kind of sit back and relax. Blood pressure goes down a little bit. You feel less anxious. They even come in and sometimes start talking to us and asking about the music. And so we just love to do that because it just makes people feel better. Music is known to bring higher levels of the feel-good hormone. So we just want to make people feel good when they come, and they are here for this purpose today.
Thank you, Connie. What else do we have going on, Dr. John?
So we have aromatherapy as well to help you relax.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
You got a lot of goodies here.
I do. We offer here, we have a diffuser that is diffusing and has we put different scents in, like lavender, which is known to have calming effects. We have a wonderful stress away blend that people can use and roll it on little pressure points. And
I can do that too. Let's get some.
oh yeah, let's get some
This is one of my
here.
favorites.
Spread it out.
So relaxing.
Is that what I smell?
That's what it is. You want to try a little bit?
Yeah.
So the aromatherapy also just helps us create a sense of peace and calm and relaxation. And so the oils have direct effects with your brain and your emotions, and it can trigger just the calming effects that we're looking for on Blood Draw Day.
And we'll talk about it more in a minute as far as how to implement that into your life. We call it, it's a passive form of relaxation. And so when we are trying to do the breathing or other techniques, maybe you feel like you can't even do that because you're so stressed out. These are two powerful ways that you can actually calm your mind without having to do anything but either putting the diffuser on, a little here, you can get a smell there, maybe I like it a little bit, or listening to the music. You have to just turn on and listen. And those are ways that lower your blood pressure, feel better and calm, and enjoy your day. So now we're looking at what to do if you have a diagnosis. We took a look at blood work and how to make that more relaxing for you, and you should always do that. Whenever you go to the doctor or you're worried about diagnosis, really take time to relax, to get centered, because your mind and your health is so important. But now we're going to talk about what happens when you get that diagnosis and what should it be. And we want to take on a journey to health. And before we start, I want to give a special thanks to Brian Glenn, who had me on a show yesterday. And we talk so much about the mind and its importance to health, and I really appreciate his mission of getting that information out there for us. So I'm going to turn it back over to Sarah.
I think he's got some props today. Let's check it out.
All right. So we're looking at the health that you want. Now remember, keep in mind, people say all the time, John, I don't have time to visualize. I don't have time to do this thing. You're visualizing all day long, believe me. So what are you visualizing? That's the real question. So are you waking up, are you visualizing the health you don't want? Are you visualizing your worries, your concerns, your fears? Or are you visualizing what you do want? Which one makes more sense? Okay, so let's start with that one. That's what we're gonna have, and I'm gonna set it down over here. This is your beginning point, always. Visualize what you want without knowing the end. Just like on our phones and our maps, right? If you want to go somewhere, you have to put in first where you're at and then also where you want to be. And that's how you decide on your journey. You know how long it's going to get there. The next part is going to be presence. So look at her. Stuff's happening all around. Things are going on, but she's centered and she's focused. She didn't start that way, and you won't either. So don't think, John, I took a breath and it didn't work. It's not like that. It takes dedication and time like anything else. But it's well worth it because you want to end up feeling this way, or at least close. Okay? And by the way, me and Glenn were talking about this yesterday. You'll never get rid of your fear, your anger, your worry, your concerns. That's not what this is about. Thank God we have that. What would life be like without fear, worry, and concern? Well, you probably wouldn't take positive action. What about anger? Let's get rid of it. No. Then we stand up for things because of anger. Sadness and grief, it opens our heart. But it's about you owning those emotions and being tools for you instead of them owning you. So let's talk more about that. So for example, you get a diagnosis, or you've had some kind of injury or hurt, or something major's happened in your life. We're all going to be different. You have a couple options about your experience. You may start in this one, which is that victim mode. Now, no shame around that. I'm not here to hammer you. And some of that's a little normal. We're going to feel like a victim. Why me? Why did it happen? That's painful. Just don't stay there. Go from victim to a kind of a space of grieving. Go ahead and be sad if you need to be sad. Go ahead and be mad if you need to be mad. Be frustrated. Get some hugs. Cry it out. Get your favorite cry song going. If you just found out you have cancer, heart disease, had a major accident, suffering from depression, or whatever, a divorce, anything in your life, go ahead and cry and get it out. But then let's keep moving. And we're going to talk about that. Now, the reason I have mindfulness down there, that mindfulness and that presence is going to help you on this journey, because you're going to flip between both. You're going to go from grieving to victim, but we'll keep you moving forward. All right. So here we go. Grieving's right here, and let's go ahead and put victim over here. This is going to be like two sides of a coin with the mindfulness in the middle to help you really balance that out, to know where you're at. That's the exciting part. Now, the first thing is get involved with your health. And that means you're mentally there and engaged. So you're involved. What's going on? What do I need to know? What happens next? Right? So that's why you need to start moving away from the grieving into action phase. And you'll go back to grieving too. It's fine. You just want to flow with it. Now, the challenge is going to be, this is for you, and it's for the primary caregiver, anyone who's helping you. I was doing a support group for pancreatic cancer, and it's very challenging. I'm so admired by the bravery of the people that go through that and face up to that. I mean, it's beautiful to sit there and talk and be in a space with them. And their caregivers too. But the tendency is, in a lot of cases, either for you or the people that are taking care of you, is get over-involved. It becomes your world. Now, yes, I 100% know and understand you need to be in there, and it becomes your world a little bit. But at the same time, don't let it become everything. There's still roses out there. There's still beautiful sunsets out there. There's still a life out there. Because remember, your brain is magical. It'll form around what you think all day long. So you want to be involved, but you don't want to get stuck here where there's nothing else going on in your life. Because then all you'll be thinking about is your stress and your worry about your health. And we want you thinking about your life, because that's the point of all this. Get you healthy again so you can enjoy life, or live life on life's terms, where you can flow with what you have and still find joy in between. Which is why we encourage healthy detachment. Now, what does that mean? Healthy detachment. It means you know it's there. You accept it, but you're not stuck in it. It's not everything. You can still watch a movie. You can still have conversations about other things. You can still enjoy life from time to time. And this experience doesn't become your whole reality. So it's a healthy detachment. A lot of people don't like that one, especially when they're talking about their caregivers or anything else, because they're like, well, I feel like I'm not caring if I'm not always worried about it. Well, I mean, you want to take care of yourself and find your joy in life too. But you don't want to do this either. This is the big no-no, is the disengaged. It's tempting. It's tempting because you're really in fear and you're really worried. And I've been in some situations in my life too, and I've had diagnosis too, and I had a major motorcycle accident when I was younger, and it really hurt me. It took me 2 years to recover from it. And I had my leg almost looked like a small stick for a while, and I wasn't sure if they were even going to amputate my foot. It was very scary. And I started to get into this, shut down and disengaged, and led me nowhere. And so with mentorship and with initiative, I began to get engaged, but I also began to detach a little bit from it too. Because when you get here, this is when you start going, well, what does it matter? Well, let me just kind of like look on the internet for other stuff now. Let me just start eating what I want. Nothing matters anymore. I'm going to give up. Life's over. No, it's not. So we want to find a balance between those two. Not so much to where you don't care, but at the same time where it's not taking you over. Again, The only way to do that is through this presence, is through this. And we'll talk about how to do that in a minute. Because this is all trying to lead you up to this idea of health. This is what you want, is you're vibrant and you're alive. Regardless of your age, you're enjoying life, you're enjoying the water, you're enjoying whatever you can have. And if you use mindfulness to go through these different experiences, it's really going to help you. And if you look, this is exciting, isn't it? Because this gives you an option about your life and how to live anything. If you look, you're always in that stage of choice. And it's normal to be in both. You're going to go from victim, you're going to go into grieving. You're going to get over-involved in anything and worry about it. And then you're going to learn how to breathe, center, get involved, but not over-involved. Then you're going to learn how to get detached from it a little bit, but not shut down. And through that whole journey is the mindfulness which leads you to it. And so on our next recording, we'll get specific about what that means. What is mindfulness and how to use it. But for now, just as a quick tip as always, put your hand on your heart. Leave it there for about 2 minutes. Your brain's going to go, oh, someone has their hand on my heart. That feels really nice. It'll help you center. It'll help you calm. And even if you don't have a worry in the world, which is probably not likely for any of us, this can help you. We'll talk about the science about it next time and some more mindfulness activities as well. But for now, well, we wish you the best, and we'll see you next week.